Yo, what's good YouTube? It's Bordsy, and this is going to be a review of the Corsair Sabre 8K Pro RGB piece of shit. Yeah, this is a Corsair mouse that I am not especially fond of, and I'll get into why. But this is one of the first 8K Hertz mice made available. Corsair is obviously a big company, but unfortunately you need to download the software to get to that 8K Hertz polling rate, and that is the beginning of the end. I'll get into that later, but first I want to address the plethora of quality control issues on this mouse. The first issue is these buttons. I have tons of side-to-side play on both of the buttons, and you really can feel this in game because it basically takes nothing to get the plastic to shift. There is good amounts of pre-travel on both of the clicks as well. There's a massive difference in the sound and feeling of the left click versus the right. The switches feel hollow and cheap, and it's really just a terrible click experience, in my opinion. The switches are like pretty light, and they're all right in game, but once you press down, like I said, it's just so easy to make them wobble. There is tons of rattling on this mouse. It seems like it's different rattling whether you swipe the mouse horizontally or vertically. So I don't know what that is. I think it's like the scroll wheel rattling. It's honestly just kind of annoying, makes the mouse feel cheap. Once again, the mouse shell, it doesn't feel cheap, and there's no like flexing, and this isn't a bad thing I'm about to bring up, but the mouse almost feels hollow, because it is obviously a very large shape. I had the Death Adder out because I think that's what it most closely compares to, except you can kind of see that it has a more centralized hump, and I think that the shape is great, and the weight is also really good. I know you can't see it, but trust me, this says 75 grams, and the mouse is wired, so you might be like, how is a wired 75-gram mouse light? But if you feel this mouse in hand, you definitely be able to acknowledge what I'm saying for such a large shape. And I think that Corsair really does have those aspects of the mouse down, but everything else, just nah. I did hear online that the QC issues are a bit better on the non-RGB version, which is fucking stupid. This is a $60 mouse, and I just don't feel, it doesn't feel like a $60 mouse. Something kind of unique about it is this very forward sensor positioning. So if you're a sensor positioning freak, just fucking go for it, because this is what you want. It takes a bit to adjust to, and there is a bit of Dpi deviation with this mouse. I was freaking out. I couldn't tell if it was placebo, if there was actual deviation, but there is. This is using the same sensor as the other Corsair mouse I use, the 3392. So you can adjust the Dpi by one, but it has some Dpi deviation to make up for that feature. And while I'm on the back of the mouse, I might as well talk about these dismal mouse feet. Corsair stock feet, they don't glide good on any surface. I'm just not a fan of them. It was passable. I was able to use the mouse, but these are shit mouse feet. Bad job, Corsair. The cable, this cable, very good because it got me many TikTok views. It is pretty flexible, I'll be honest. Like, this is not one of the mouse's issues, and it's even flexible enough to the point where you can spin it, hence the TikTok views. Also, the mouse has this like glossy thing, which really just gives off like old SteelSeries mouse vibes. Kind of funny. The scroll wheel, it feels like a worse version of the Model O scroll wheel. Like, it feels really close to the glorious one, but once again, just a little bit cheaper. Like, not as well tensioned. Some people said they were having a binding issue. I'm not getting that, happily. And when I look at the features of this mouse, the only one that I would say it even comes close to getting right is this cable. Of course, Corsair keeps using this cable on future wired mice. I mean, I wouldn't complain about that. But a lot of the other things just need to be refined. And at $60, you can get a fucking XM1 for this price. Like, yes, this is a larger shape, and I would say it's a better shape for like large hand claw. And even if you palm grip, this is like a really simple shape. But the value is just not there on this mouse. This really just does feel like a cheap Corsair piece of shit. And yes, I know 8K Hertz polling rate. Oh my god. It might work on your PC. It might not. It really depends on the game. Even if it does work, it's going to use more of your CPU, which is a massive turnoff to some people. So yeah, it's really a case-by-case basis, so I'd recommend trying it. Like, don't listen to anybody who's like, oh yes, it works 100%, or no, it never works. So I would say it's not really something that mice need to be striving for. Like, there's other features that are way more important than the polling rate. Like 1000 is good enough, and we're never going to see above 1000 hertz, or maybe in a few years, but not anytime soon will we see above 1000 hertz on wireless mice. So there's really no reason to like stress out about that. So I just recommend not to look at 8K hertz as a necessity. I wouldn't really like call it a gimmick, because there certainly is a difference. I've tested it on 360 hertz, but it's not something that you need. Like, don't base your mouse purchase around it. The side buttons on this mouse, I don't think I covered them yet. They're pretty light, easy to activate, not any quality issues, which is surprising. Side buttons are better in the main clicks, and they're big and easy to hit. What have I? Oh, the coating. If you have sweaty hands, this mouse will get extremely slippery. It's not a good coating if you have sweaty hands, but if your hands aren't sweaty, I think it's pretty nice. It's like almost grainy feeling, so it's not bad in that regard, but it does get pretty slippery. And I'm going to go over my final gripe with this mouse, the software. When I first got the mouse, I was honestly enjoying it. And then I realized that it didn't come with 8K hertz out of the box. So I was like, oh, I'll download the software. No biggie. And then I download the software and it just ruined my mouse. It literally made it so the mouse would not go below 1200 DPI no matter what I did. So I fully deleted the software and then reinstalled it and then put the mouse on 800 DPI, and that fixed it. But it was the weirdest issue I've ever experienced. And they also have separate DPI modes for whether you have the software active or not, just why. So the only one that really matters is the hardware DPI. That was something that it just confused me for a few seconds. Also, like, yes, this is how you can change it to 8K hertz polling rate. Oh no. Wow, now I'm on 8K hertz. Holy fuck, so smooth, my tracking. But yeah, this mouse is not going to get the Boardsy seal of approval. If you have over like 20 by 10 hand size, I feel like this could be like a great shape for you if you play claw or palm. But other than that, I don't think this mouse is worth considering, and just know that you are not getting like a high quality product in any regard. Like the $30 Corsair Sabre Pro XT felt far better than this. Like, I was really complimenting that mouse's build quality. Just can't say the same here. And the shitty feet and the shitty clicks. It's like, man, whole lot of shit. That's gonna be all for this video. Make sure to leave a like and sub. Peace. Sorry for all the fucking Corsair mouse reviews, by the way.